What's going on, fellow gamers? This is Senny here, and thank you for joining me on my very first video of the World of Warcraft. Today's video will be featuring what are, in my opinion, the top 5 World of Warcraft cinematics. This video will be featuring cinematics released for the trailers, for the expansions, also as in-game cinematics. If you like the content, hit the like button and also subscribe, and hopefully I get to push out more content for you guys. Enjoy! Coming up first on the list is the cinematic for the Burning Crusade expansion. This cinematic was added to the list because of the exciting impact it had on players all around the world who until its release only had vanilla WoW. This expansion brought forth 2 new races, the Draenei and the Blood Elves. This cinematic had a huge nostalgic feel right from the opening, where you see the Dark Portal and hear Illidan talking to you. Speaking of which, this expansion brought in one of the most iconic characters in the Warcraft lore after being introduced in Warcraft 3, and in my personal opinion is one of the most badass characters. And what Blizzard fan doesn't know Illidan's famous saying, whether they've played the game or not? You are not prepared.
You are not prepared. You are not prepared!
It still gives me exciting goosebumps to this day. Next up on the list is the Legion expansion cinematic. This cinematic showed not only King Varian Wrynn as the narrator, but featured My Dark Lady Sylvanas as well, and let me tell you, their cinematic character models looked gorgeous. We get to see the Tomb of Sargeras for the first time in WoW after many years of hearing of this dangerous place, and we get to see hordes of demons bringing our protagonists right into the fight. The sequence where Sylvanas vaults onto the gunship and then both her and Varian take down the Inferno was a glorious taste on what an animated Warcraft movie could look like. And to close it all off with the cherry on top, Varian's battle cry. Holy crap. I am a Horde fan for life, but that battle cry, mixed in with the awesome Legion music, was enough to get me giddy until the release of the expansion. Third on the list is the Thrall vs. Garrosh cinematic. This cinematic made the list because of the significance it had on a character arc coming to an end. We were first introduced to Garrosh Hellscream back in the Burning Crusade and Nagrand doing a few quests, to helping him storm the Icecrown Citadel, to him becoming Warchief of the Horde until he was overthrown. For Garrosh to have had so much character progression and slowly turn into a power-hungry warchief filled with pride of his father's sacrifice, to fleeing to alternate Draenor and reunite the old Orc clans was quite the significant impact in the World of Warcraft. In the cinematic, we see it finally all coming to an end when Thrall, former warchief and mentor of Garrosh, accuses Garrosh of failing the Horde and answering for his crimes. During the fight, we get a glimpse on how Garrosh, who has done unspeakable horrors, was not really 100% to blame for what happened to him and for all the decisions he made. But in the end, we get to see Thrall turn back to his gladiator roots and then use his shaman powers afterwards to end Garrosh's reign for good, bringing to an end a significant character that has been present for 5 expansions. Coming up fourth on the list is the Warlords of Draenor cinematic. While most of the WoW population had its strong feelings against how the expansion itself turned out, I don't believe many of those people can say they were disappointed with the cinematic. The cinematic brought us one of the most significant moments in Orcish history, where the Orcs drank the blood of Manoroth and became bloodthirsty warriors enslaved to the Pit Lord. But the cinematic came with a twist, thanks to some Bronze Dragonflight time travel magic and Garrosh preventing the drinking of Manoroth's blood. In the cinematic, where in the regular timeline you'd see them drink the blood, instead Grom Hellscream pours it on the ground. That's when Manoroth reveals himself, and who else out there immediately thought of the Warcraft 3 cinematic with Grom versus Manoroth? I remember seeing this WoD cinematic for the first time and then seeing Grom leap through the flames in slow motion and burying his axe Gorehowl into Manoroth's head. Then, when it seemed like Grom would be caught in the fire of the Pit Lord's death again, just like in Warcraft 3, Garrosh dives in and saves his father from the all too familiar fate. And then, cue in the music when we pan over to Manoroth's body. I still hum that tune to this day, and I get goosebumps every time when Garrosh tosses Gorehowl to Grom, and Grom then yells, "We will never be slaves."
We will never be slaves!
That line every time makes me think back to these orcs who have struggled for decades with the curse of Manoros blood in their veins, and them now defying it from the very get-go. Some pretty nostalgic stuff that Blizzard dropped on us in this cinematic. Finally, before I reveal the top pick for the #1 cinematic in the World of Warcraft universe, here are some honorable mentions that didn't make the cut. Number 1, the Broken Shore cinematic. This cinematic made it to the top of the list because of the huge Game of Thrones style "no one is safe" vibe this cinematic dropped on us. When I watched this cinematic for the first time and saw Vol'jin get stabbed in the stomach, my jaw dropped. I was so shocked and didn't know what to think other than no, not Vol'jin. Then we see Sylvanas take charge and call off the Horde forces as prompted by Vol'jin. After the Horde walks away, we see the Alliance's point of view, where to them it seems like the Horde just flat out abandoned them because they didn't see the Horde getting ambushed. This cinematic created so much red versus blue controversy that it is still a hot topic in some YouTube conversations to this day so far into this expansion. Fast forward to when Varian is trying to climb the gunship, but Gul'dan's Fel Reaver is holding on. As soon as Varian was delaying and closed his eyes, I knew what was going to happen, but did not want to accept it. Varian hands a letter addressed to Anduin Wrynn, his son, over to Gen Greymane and says,
"Take this to my son."
Cue in the amazing Legion music, and Varian lets go, screaming another battle cry before impaling his sword Charlemagne in the Fel Reaver's head and killing it. Then, surrounded on all sides, Varian fights his way up to Gul'dan, but he didn't make it. On his way, the King of the Alliance was stabbed twice through the back and brought down on his knees in front of Gul'dan. Gul'dan then says to Varian that he would be remembered as the king who sacrificed his life for nothing. And just when the hearts of all the fans of the Alliance are bleeding, knowing the end for Varian Wrynn is coming to in seconds, Varian Wrynn looks up at Gul'dan and says,
"For the Alliance."
Even to the very end, Varian was defiant and fought for his people and kingdom. Also, that death cry though. Even as a Horde, I have to say that seeing Varian go in such a heroic way and dying in what clearly appears to be so painfully, it was heart-wrenching, and that is why this video made #1 on the list. Do you agree with my list? Please leave a comment below and let me know what the cinematics you would have put in. If you enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and be sure to check out my Twitter for announcements on when videos go up and when I am going to stream. Thank you for tuning in, fellow gamers, and have a wonderful day.